In the heart of a forgotten alley, where moonlight barely reached and shadows clung to the walls like secrets, stood an abandoned mansion. Its once grand windows were now shattered, its doors rotted away, and the whispers of time echoed through its halls. The local cats of the city, feral, cautious, and wise, never dared to go near it. They spoke in hushed meows of strange happenings inside, of ghostly movements behind the cracked windows, and of an invisible force that watched from within. But one cat was not afraid. His name was Morris, a sleek gray feline with golden eyes, as if twin suns were trapped within them. Every night, Morris would disappear into the darkness and return at dawn, covered in dust, his fur tinged with the scent of old books, candle smoke, and something ancient. The other cats whispered, "Where does he go? Why does he smell like a place that no longer exists? What secrets does he keep?" But no one dared to follow him, no one except Luna. Luna was unlike the others. A fearless black cat with emerald green eyes that shimmered like jewels in the dark. She had always been drawn to mysteries, and Morris was the greatest one of all. One night, as Morris slipped through the alley toward the mansion, Luna silently followed, her paws barely making a sound against the cobblestones. She watched as he leaped onto the mansion's windowsill, his tail flicking behind him like a silent farewell. Then, without hesitation, he disappeared inside. Luna hesitated. The whispers of the other cats clawed at her mind. "Don't go in. No one who enters ever returns the same." But curiosity was stronger than fear. She took a deep breath and jumped inside. Inside, the mansion was dead silent. Cobwebs stretched like ghostly hands, the air smelled of forgotten memories, and the wooden floor groaned under her light steps. But Morris was nowhere to be seen. Luna's tail flicked uneasily. Where had he gone? The mansion wasn't that big, and yet it felt endless inside. Then she saw it. A massive, ornate mirror stood at the far end of the room. Its golden frame was carved with strange symbols, twisting and curling like living tendrils. The glass was not normal. It did not reflect her nor the room around it. Instead, it showed a different world. Luna's breath caught. The mansion in the reflection was not abandoned. The floors were polished, the walls were lined with candlelit sconces, and the air shimmered as if filled with magic. And standing in that world, staring directly at her through the glass, was Morris. Morris's golden eyes glowed as he raised his paw and stepped backward into the mirror. Luna's heart pounded. Where was he going? Without thinking, she rushed forward and pressed her paw against the glass. The mirror's surface was cold as ice, but the moment she touched it, the world shifted. A force pulled her in, swallowing her in a swirl of golden light and shadow. The abandoned mansion vanished, and when Luna opened her eyes, she was no longer in her own time. Luna gasped as she took in her surroundings. She was standing in a bustling city, but it was not the city she knew. The buildings were made of ancient stone, the streets glowed with lanterns instead of electric lights, and people wore robes of a forgotten era. But what shocked her most were the cats. Cats everywhere, not as pets, but as rulers, guardians, oracles. They sat on rooftops, watched from the shadows, and some even walked beside humans like equals. Their eyes gleamed with intelligence beyond comprehension. Then, from above, a familiar voice purred, "Welcome, Luna." She turned and saw Morris, perched on the edge of a stone fountain. But he looked different. His fur was sleek and unaged, his golden eyes brighter than ever. He belonged to this time. Luna's tail flicked. "What is this place?" Morris leaped down, landing gracefully. "This is the past, Luna, a time when we, the cats, were more than mere observers." Luna's ears twitched. How did we get here?" Morris's gaze darkened. "Through the mirror of time. I've been using it for years to travel between eras." Luna took a step back. "But why?" Morris's tail curled. "Because something is threatening time itself, and only we can stop it." Before Luna could question him further, a chilling wind swept through the streets. The city's lights flickered. A black mist, shifting, unnatural, alive, began to slither through the alleyways, creeping toward them. The other cats in the city hissed and arched their backs, their fur bristling with terror. Morris narrowed his eyes. That mist, it's a distortion in time. It shouldn't be here. Luna's claws unsheathed. What happens if we don't stop it? Morris's ears flattened. Then history will change, and we may never exist. The mist lunged. Morris and Luna leaped into battle, their fates intertwined with the past, present, and future, because only the cats of time could protect the world from what was coming next. To be continued. Meow, Sparkles.